Ashley, I need you to push away from your mother because I don't want you to look after my children the way your mother looked after you. What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Miss Sophia the Diva, and I am back here again for another review and discussion of The Real Housewives of Potomac. We are in season 3, episode 11, Exes and Oh No's. And judging from the very heated and business professional conversation that Ashley and Michael had about their marriage, it don't seem like any type of procreation is going to be going on in their recreation, okay? Tonight's episode it was so many issues and drama and oh my God, it was just like the entire episode we can sit here and discuss. So get ready, sit back, because I have some unpacking to do of this episode and address some of the psychological issues that are going on here. Let's get through the minor details, or not major, but definitely not minor. Monique is trying to step out of the spotlight of her husband, Chris. That is evident from her conversation because she's excited about this charity event where she would be presenting or giving an introduction. And I noticed a lot in this episode how she kind of was like, now I can step out the shadows of Chris, which is kind of hard considering he's a big 340-pound former linebacker. Oh, that must be exhausting. Anyway, what can I say? But I'm not as thin as Monique, but I've always been into big dudes, football playing dudes, but not like the unhealthy looking. A little Buddha belly is okay, but usually solid as a rock. So they go to get a spa pedicure. That was interesting because of the conversation. I think it's really nice that they did a couple's date at the spa. I think it's great that Chris is taking care of his feet. I think that it's great that he takes an active role also in his children's life, because earlier in the episode she did point that out, that he's coaching, I guess, high school football now. So the Samuels are doing good, but we still need to address the elephant in the room in this relationship, because as soon as they're getting there, she's like, well, babe, let me pull out the Camus, since I'm always sneaking a bottle of Camus with me. And he was like, and I'm just like, your wife got a drinking issue, but then for you to sit up there and be like, I really would prefer if you stayed at home with the kids, and I just want to know when you're going to give me some more babies. And she's like, I just had a miscarriage. Like, what part of the game is this? Like, what do you not understand about that? Anyway, he asked her for more children, and she's like, I'm still dealing with this miscarriage. And I'm like, isn't that evident from her drinking? And then he finally comes to himself, seemingly, and was like, well, you were there for me, and I know you got all these dreams. And then, of course, Monique has to go on about all these businesses she's launching. I'm like, what businesses are you really launching? I'm just like, everybody say hi, Miss Pumpkin, because she want to be seen. Hey, Miss Pumpkin. Yeah, so it's just one of those things where I just feel like they really need to go to marriage counseling, and they really need to get beyond the pastor wife type thing, unless he's a certified psychologist, or they are taught counseling and that type of thing. But Ashley and Gizelle are hanging out, spending time. I guess since Robyn is down with Candiace, I guess Gizelle said, I might as well hang out with old messy gossipy Ashley. She learns from Ashley that her and Monique hung out, and she shares with her that Monique asked her if she was coming to her event. And then that's when they kind of felt like, oh, Monique is just being messy and trying to turn people, to divert people from coming to Robyn's event. And I'm just like, how is her asking Ashley if you're going to come to my event? Is her trying to turn people away? It was just a question, at least based upon how it was edited. She just said, hey, are you coming? And she's like, no, I'm already committed to going to Robyn's event. But I did feel some type of way about how Charrisse handled the matter. Because if y'all notice in this episode in general, though, everyone is talking about, well, I've known you longer. Who's known who longer? I don't know. Let me tell you something. People outgrow one another. And do you really know these people? Because it's kind of like over time, y'all ain't been hanging out. Like, where was Kendall the first 2 seasons? Where was she? But before I dive into that, let me continue on. All I gotta say is that we have seen growth in Miss Ashley this episode. That's growth, girl. While having this conversation with Gizelle, she could have easily said, oh, and by the way, yeah, Sherman, we heard about him. Monique shared that, and she did. And I'm glad that Ashley opted not to share the information, especially upon learning when she inquired, what's up with you and Sherman? And Gizelle was like, we are no more. Because she needs something more that Sherman's just not willing to give her. And so Ashley says, I can see that she's really hurting, and I don't want to go there with her right now. That's growth for Ashley. But I also think with Sherman and it's mighty funny how all of a sudden Sherman and Gizelle are together and here come Kendall. As I've stated in the previous video, I really do believe what's going on here is the fact that Sherman got shook and got ghosted, okay? He probably caught wind that Bravo was going to be messy and Monique was going to bring on Kendall to the show. 2, Gizelle and him just, he just decided that because here's the odd thing about it. How is it that you're going to be on an episode eating grapes and talking about moving in together and fucking in the vineyard, and then all of a sudden you disappear off the scene? Like, after that episode, we haven't seen Sherman. So it's almost like he knew Kendall was coming onto the scene. We learn, of course, in the previous episode that he was hearing footsteps in the dark in the park. Yeah, and so him and his wife have been divorced almost 5 years because she comes over to Monique's house to hang out with her. And they talk about, marriage and divorce. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, y'all just, oh. And how is Sherman pulling all these beautiful women? I tell you, money will cover up a multitude of ugly, won't it? I mean, damn. Okay. Anywho, let me stay on task. So I'm just trying to figure out, or as I've also stated about Gizelle and Sherman, maybe they are still together, but they just don't want their relationship to be on blast on TV, or he may have moved on to the next one. I saw a blog report where supposedly Gizelle is now dating someone else anyway, so I guess she done moved on. I know that's right, girl. Don't stick around, just move around, okay? We learn also in this episode, I can't remember if Gizelle revealed it. I know Kendall said she felt some type of way about the fact that she knows Gizelle and that Gizelle never gave her a phone call saying, hey, I'm going to be fucking your man, your ex-man. Is that cool? Are we cool? I know he was yours first, but he's mine now and I got him all the time. I was trying to figure out that too, because I'm like, how good of girlfriends are you? Is it just like kind of know you in the social circle, or is it, girl, we kicking it? But she said that her kids, when she was talking to Monique, was like, Mommy, I saw your friend with Daddy. And I'm like, oh, damn, that's how you found out. That's kind of messed up, because like you kind of need to tell the mother of your kids, I'm hanging out with some new chick. I mean, you just can't be bringing random women around the kids. So, there's 3 sides to every story: her version, Gizelle's version, and the truth. So we'll have to get down there. And really, it's 4 sides because we got 3 parties and then the truth. So at this charity event where Monique has bought a table that she tried to lure everyone away from the She Empowered event, I really didn't see a lot to Robyn's storyline with that. I just know that Gizelle was cheering her girl on. I don't care what y'all say about Gizelle and Robyn. Them two thick like thieves, and they support one another like no other. I wish more of us girlfriends, and yeah, Gizelle be saying some shady shit. My soror, let's pray for her. But that's just who she is. She can't help it. It's a knee jerk. It's like, whoop, I gotta say something shady. Either way, the She Empower event was very powerful to Gizelle. It was Black Girl Magic. It was Wakanda Forever. And so I laughed when Gizelle said that. I was like, girl, it was that good, huh? But at this event of Monique's, She tells her girlfriend, Gigi, who, by the way, is wearing the $4,000 gown that Monique was hoping not to spill wine on. I didn't realize Gigi was so short, because I don't know, the dress, I guess when you transition from looking at Monique having it on to her little friend, you're just like, what happened? Anyway, Monique is glad to be away from her kids and husband. They gonna get lit. Get lit now. Do the bow. Charlie Brown. Cha-cha one time. Now turn around. I don't know where that came from. Charrisse talking about, girl, I wish I had gone to Robyn's event now, because this getting dressed up in this damn cocktail dress, it's all itchy and scratchy. I don't feel like being here. You know I've been chilling at the house in my bonnet by the pool with no clothes on, because I ain't, okay, either way, you know, because I'm going through a divorce and I've been chilling. Y'all see how I be rolling up in here in my wedges? I bet she was mad because she couldn't wear wedges to the cocktail place. Here's my thing with Robyn. I think it's really childish and really petty as a grown-ass woman not to realize that when people RSVP for certain things, they don't owe you an obligation to show up. Now, if some family travesty had happened, I may or may not expect Charrisse to show up and be there for you. And I get this is an event, but this is one of many that you're going to be having. So maybe Charrisse can come to the next one. Monique was not trying to lure people away. I'm sure she gets off on it because she already don't like you two for whatever reason, you and Gizelle. But she did ask Charrisse first. Karen, on the other hand, Karen need not rely on Siri for her event planning. But at this party, you know, people like, Charrisse is like, so once again, Monique is borrowing my friends, you know, at the hurricane release, she called on my friends. Now it's another friend. And then when she said Kendall was coming, she was like, how are you going to invite Kendall and not tell me about it? She was like, well, you know, I got so busy. And I just totally forgot Charrisse. And Charrisse is feeling some type of way. I'm like, so are the rose-colored glasses coming off and you're now starting to see Monique for who she really is? Or is it really just the green-eyed monster known as jealousy coming out? Because isn't that the whole point of networking? Is or starting your friend network is to network other friends together so we can all be friends and get these ends? I mean, I'm just asking. But I can understand why Charrisse would feel some type of way. But, you know, maybe Monique has fostered her own friendship with Kendall. I think she said she's known Kendall for a minute too. They're also upset that Karen Huger didn't come to Robyn's event. But my whole thing with that is that, number one, Robyn betrayed Karen's trust by going back and kiki-keying and telling all the girls her business, regardless of whether it was published in the magazine or the newspaper or a blog or wherever. She told you that in confidence when she was down. And she felt like you of all people would understand when being in lack what that would be like. So she trusted you with that information. So that's why Karen didn't come. And also she feels like you were also a part of Gizelle's shenanigans and antics at the tax press conference with no press and just peanuts. So that's why Karen is not at your event, Robyn. She feels like you've betrayed her trust. Now, at this charity event with Monique, you know, she invites Kendall to the old Huger event. And I almost feel like that was set up because Monique was like, oh my God, Karen, you're inviting Kendall to the event? And so Monique makes it a point early on to say that she's done her best to keep Kendall and Gizelle separate because she knows Kendall. And then Kendall gonna roll up talking about, why are we worried about Gizelle? She knows me, and then she gets with my ex-husband and not even tell me, so she better get ready for me to be around. And I was just like, so I guess this means that Bravo is gonna onboard Kendall as either a friend of the show, or she may replace someone, or just become part of the full cast that's already there. Because right now, as of this season, I really don't see anyone leaving other than maybe Robyn. But I think they're going to keep Robyn on because Robyn is the organic, or she had it all, lost it all, now she's trying to rebuild it all. I don't know if flipping houses is the way to go. One of my followers on Twitter, she was just breaking it down for me because I don't know anything about real estate other than I need to come up with a down payment and you move in and everything is your responsibility after that. But if you want to flip it, there's upgrades and there are rehab loans you can get for homes that are in need of some repair. Also, what I find interesting is how when Robyn brought up the fact that I can't believe you're going to miss my event, Charrisse, and she was like, I know, 14 years of friendship, yada, yada, yada. But you've known Kendall for 18 years and you're upset for her accepting it, or you're upset with Monique for inviting her to an event. Like, all of y'all are petty about how long you've known somebody. I find that interesting. So when this wasn't Karen, this was Corin. When Corin invited Kendall, she was just thinking about getting get back at Gizelle and Robyn too. But I think it's going to blow up in her face and they all going to end up looking like schoolgirls in the schoolyard getting separated by somebody's principal. While at the table, there's discussion about how donations are being made for the O. Huger charity dinner. Come to find out, Karen is trying to funnel funds through her corporation in order to write a check to the Alzheimer's Foundation. I am doing this. She was like, what did she say? She was like, let me tell you something. I am doing this because my accountants will be given an accounting of all the money that comes through my account. I was like, Karen, that don't even make sense. You sound just about as bad as Candiace not trying to figure out her wedding budget with her husband to be. Like, what kind of marriage is this going to be? But either way, I'm with everybody else. And then she told Monique, this is my business. Don't you worry about it. Don't you ask about it anymore. You understand? And she said, and thank you for coming. I was like, that damn Karen. I said, you know what, Karen, you are wrong for that. And ain't nobody falling for the okie doke. I want my tax write-off too. So guess who's getting a check? It will be a gift given on behalf of the Hugers to the Alzheimer's Foundation. I'm not giving you money. And I'm just like Gizelle and everybody else was like, we're not, it just sounds like a trick of the devil. Even Candiace was wise enough to recognize that. So Karen, you tried it. And then Monique was like, all I know is that if I'm going to be writing her a check and she going to be funneling money, she better have them wigs tight. And it better not be falling off and lop sideways. I was like, either way, something is fishy. In, what is it? Virginia Falls? What the hell are they at? Falls Church, Virginia. Something's fishy over there. Robyn in this house flipping, please don't fuck up your mama's money. You done fucked up your family's money, Juan's money. And I'm just like, all that water damage, that means that's a bunch of mold. You better hope that whomever the contractors are, they're able to get it all out. I just don't see that as a good investment. So J. Pemberton 15, one of my sorors on here, we're talking about Robyn's like real estate opportunity or whatever. Somebody pointed out that the realtor fees on her $25,000 property was $12,000. How? Then they also pointed out that with this water damage, that's $50,000 she's claiming. It's probably way more than that. I could see from the realtor dude or her realtor mentor or whomever it was, he was looking like, I wouldn't buy this shit, but girl, you might as well tear the house down and start completely over, which would be pointless because then you got to buy a brand new house. You got to build a brand new house. Don't do it, Robyn. Don't fuck up your mama and daddy's retirement money too. So I think it's great that she's attempting to get the money back, but whatever. Chris and Candiace are going to Gaylord, which, by the way, Gaylord properties are very nice properties. They're expensive as hell. Hell, it's expensive to park there. Recently, over the summer, I was in Dallas, and one of my friends came into town also from out of town. It was $25 to park. But either way, Candiace like, we going to leave the mama drama at home. I'm hoping it's not as stressful as being with Chris. Chris is also another one that apparently stressed her out. She up here talking about she wants flowers on the ceiling. She wants a large dance floor. She wants Chanel chairs. And Chris says, you have a $165,000 budget, dear heart. Here's the math. She said there were going to be 405 people. He did a calculation based upon 300 people. Chris said, I don't give a damn about no damn Chanel chairs. At the end of the day, as long as everybody's in the seat, who cares? Somebody told me, well, it's obvious that she's trying to keep up with the Kardashians. I said I wouldn't know because I don't keep up with them, but apparently at somebody's wedding, probably I think it was Kim and Kanye, she had flowers on the wall or something. And I had heard that before, but I really didn't care because I'm like, why would you ever want to keep up with the Kardashians? I know people love them for whatever reason, but I'm like, whatever. People wonder why I love Beyonce so much, but I'm just like, she has talent. What are these people known for? Doubling their father's money and their sister out here giving up coochie, and now she's married to Kanye and he in a sunken place. Let me digress. But either way, Candiace starts giving this swan song of a story about how she came from a broken home. And I'm like, what does coming from a broken home have to do with breaking the bank at the end of the day? Because what couples don't realize is this. You can have a pretty wedding and a fucked up marriage in the end. There are people I know that say I do and end up not getting what they thought they were getting. Number two, your finances. You wonder why your mama won't cut you loose on running, what is it, Prima hair? I forgot, either way. Chris is breaking down this budget. He's hitting you with facts and figures. And you just sitting up here getting mad because your whole concept of this whole wedding day, if you got $165,000, you can probably, for even half of that, hell, for a good $30,000, you can probably get a destination wedding with 20 of your closest friends. Why would you want people that aren't even real? They just come to eat cake and maybe drop off a set of towels. Why? Ask your mama to contribute to the mortgage. Ask her to buy you an investment property. If that's the case, get you one and get you some rent money. I mean, but when you don't want to discuss budgets, and that's why your mother is still involved, because you don't want to listen to anyone. You don't want to hear the bottom line. And the bottom line is this: you're going to bankrupt your mama, your daddy, and your husband to be. And it don't sound like, coming up next episode, Chris is trying to stick around because you got the ring in hand. And I think he told you, if you don't want to be with me, we can just cancel this wedding. You can get the fuck up out of my life. I'm just like, oh shit. At the end of the day, when y'all get married, it's just going to be you and him, because this other logic about broken home, it just don't make dollars or cents, and that's S-E-N-S-E, cents, okay? I don't get it. And then she talking about, I just feel like Chris don't care. I've got all these jaded, negative people around me. No, Chris has been married before, number one. He's been through this before, and he's not telling you anything wrong. He's trying to help you get the calculations together, but you're being resistant and stubborn. But this is what happens when your parents didn't set boundaries. They just throw money at you, partly probably out of guilt. And parental guilt is one of the best ways to get things out of your parents. I wouldn't know. My parents are old school. My parents don't even have a lot of money. Hey, whatever, to each their own. The truth about the Darbys. The truth about the Darbys is this, is that Michael and her have this relationship that is more of a business arrangement. Anyway, let's just be real about it. Somebody said Michael that had a vasectomy and he just ain't told Ashley about it. I could believe that too. And it's like every time, and I'm like, this is one of the things that's on camera. She said, you knew that when you married me, I wanted children. Sis, freeze your eggs and wait out those 5 years and then divorce his ass and take half. Because he's not living up to his end of the bargain. He's supposed to be a shrewd businessman. But he told her that fucked up shit that I said in the beginning about the fact that your mother is so dysfunctional and so I'm concerned about my kids. No, the truth of the matter is Michael doesn't want any more kids. His kids are grown. He's an older man. He just wanted something pretty on his arm. And then after what I saw tonight, I'm like, maybe he might want Carson on his arm too. I don't know. Michael is just wrong. And that was very hurtful. He knows that your relationship with your mom is messed up. And I don't think that he sees the fact that even if this is his truth, which I don't believe it is, I don't think that he understands that a lot of us who have mothers that can be difficult, I don't think they realize that we go the opposite direction in behavior that some of our parents would go in. And I don't think some people get that part. Just because Ashley's mom is dysfunctional doesn't mean that Ashley's going to be a dysfunctional mom. The Green Eyed Bandits. So the Hugers are having the old charity ball. It's about to go down, y'all. I really am just like, this just was uncalled for, unadulterated drama. The Green Eyed Bandits ride again. They gonna go confront Karen. I can see it's gonna be like a scene in Harlem Nights. It's almost like Robyn Harris and the other dude in Harlem Nights that showed up in the nightclub and shot it up. That's how it feels like. They just walk in and just like boop, boop, boop. That's their whole plan. But the Hugers, it's their charity night. Notice they didn't have it at the house in Falls Church. Ray seems a little checked out, so excited. His daughter's at home. She was like, "You look good, Daddy." He's like, "You look even better, sweetie." And then, of course, Karen's like, "So, Raven did it all on her own, and I was just so proud. And she did the CD chart. Everyone's at our table. It's going to be awesome." And I'm just like, oh my God. I think it's great what they're doing for Alzheimer's. Rest her soul. One of my aunts passed away from the aggressive form. Like, she got diagnosed in like her late 50s, and within 10 years, actually maybe faster than that, it was all said and done. And I feel so bad for my cousin to this day, because her mom was her world. And anyone who knew my aunt, you automatically fell in love with her. And it was just, to me, it was just the cruelest thing ever that this great woman got stricken with this disease. So I understand where Karen and Ray's hearts are in this situation. And I think that's good. For we know that all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord, who are called according to his purpose. Okay? So the Green-Eyed Bandits, meanwhile, are down to the bar where the rich cars be, trying to come up with a scheme. Because first of all, Robyn is mad because Karen lied to her about coming to her event, and it ain't right that she didn't come to her event. And Karen needs to start telling the truth about her entire life to everybody. She needs to stop lying. And then Gizelle was like, "Yeah, because we don't need to fall for the banana in the tailpipe." I was like, no, she didn't do Beverly Hills Cop with Damon Wayans and Eddie Murphy when he said, "Can I get some banana?" "Here, brother, take 2 or 3. So either way, I caught that reference, Gizelle. That was funny. So the Green-Eyed Bandits and the Uber ride now, talking about we don't give a fuck, we gonna be in jeans, we gonna do whatever. I was like, ladies, we were not taught that by our respective sororities to act like that. We don't come up in people's places and just, just act a fool. Meanwhile, everybody's mixing and mingling. Ashley, the Darbys, despite their conversation, they still gonna show up and show out. But Michael said, "We gonna be out if ain't no food out on this table. If they ain't serving no food, we out, okay? Because I'm hungry, okay?" I almost felt like with whatchamacallit them, it was like that scene in Waiting to Exhale where they were like, "And I'm gonna call him right now." And it was like after the birthday party, all the friends were sitting around drinking and drunk dialing Bernie's ex. That's what I felt like it was. Yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna tell her all about herself. I'm sorry, it was funny to me. Charrisse done showed up with her young boo. She out here being a cougar, talking about, I'm just exercising some options. And she said, "I can't believe that Karen invited Kendall. She was doing some messy stuff. She did that to be messy." And so Monique is totally all game and gung-ho for this. Ashley is like, "Why the hell is Kendall here?" Karen is like trying to say, "Well, I like her. She's really pretty and she's intelligent and we're all grown women. We can all get along." And I'm like, you know how Gizelle is. And that's when Ashley was like, at this point, I just don't see them really being friends and that she really doesn't care about Gizelle. But at the same time, Gizelle was foul and wrong for how she was towards Karen when she knows that Karen is so protective about her lifestyle. She might be broke or whatever. We don't know, but all we know is that Karen likes to keep up appearances, and you know that about Karen. So why should that even come as a surprise? Meanwhile, they ride now. I have to say this. She said, "This is not an ambush. This is a message." That's what Robyn said. I was like, potato, potato. Either way, it's wrong. Karen is wrong. That's why God say vengeance is mine. Y'all should just leave well enough alone. Take your drunk behinds home. Or maybe y'all have girls night in at Gizelle's house and just get it on. You both are mothers. Set a good example. That's all I'm saying. At the dinner, the dude Carson from Queer Eye was talking to Michael. And I could tell Ashley looked a little uncomfortable because Carson went for Michael's thigh. I guess he was trying to see if it was thrown to the side. But I think that's all I want to cover in this episode, this video. Like I said, it was a lot of unpacking. I just really think that it's really sad that these women are all grown and gone and still are petty as hell. I'm just like, I don't understand it. Help me to understand it. but it's not for me to understand. But what I do need for y'all to understand is, and to all my subscribers, my new subscribers, thank you guys for subscribing. I really appreciate it. You are helping me out so much. This is therapeutic for me. I have new things that are happening in my life. I want to share them, but I can't share them like right now. But what I will say is that sometimes in life you have to reinvent yourself, and I'm on the journey of reinventing myself and trying to figure out this whole job and career thing, because I've been trying some stuff for years and it just ain't been working. So either way, get ready for that. That's going to be coming down the pipeline where I talk about that. I'm sure I probably missed some key things. I may bring them back up next week because this video, like I said, went on longer than what I anticipated. I usually try to keep them to 25 to 20 minutes, but you know, Diva loves to talk. But thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you for being here. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this episode. I'm just shocked and appalled at some of the stuff. Monique is petty. Karen Huger is petty. And I just think the whole ideal of always fussing and making a big stink about who known who longer, I just think that's so childish and petty. Because some people I connect with right away. I just do. Met me some new friends recently, you know, and I'm excited about it. And especially once I get on my economic financial feet, I'll be able to go hang out with you guys down to the bar where the rich cars be. Either way, that's all that the Diva has. I've had a wonderful weekend. I hope everyone else has. And watch out for that banana in the tailpipe.